Today I decided to start my next Junktilda composition book cover. And I decided to use a lot of my recent trash and things that were on top of my junk basket. You can see my pile there that I had been looking through. I have a lot of Happy Mail envelopes and packaging pieces from toys. I saved all of my little tea tags for a while, and those are the stickers from black olive cans that I love. I go through a lot of black olives. So I peeled them off of a tea box and ended up ripping it, as you saw. But luckily I have more of those tea boxes, but I love those little tea boxes. I'm thinking about taking some of the remaining boxes that I have and making them into a little itty bitty journal, just because they're so square and so perfect. So yeah, my husband had a whole bunch of those tea boxes that he got from a gentleman that he knew who bought a whole pallet of those boxes. And yeah, so they were in these nice wooden boxes full of those English breakfast tea boxes, and they're two tea bags to a box. And we still have some of the tea, but I think it's probably pretty old by now, and I probably won't use it. I decided to frame the whole outside with the tea tags. And I put those tags on there as kind of a test to see how much space they took up and to determine if I had enough tea tags to go around the whole border. And then I decided after dumping them all out, I absolutely had enough to go around the whole border. Even if it's not 100% the same tea tags, there were plenty of tags there to go around the border. Now I put my glue down on the top of that there so that the corners and edges would stay flat because they weren't glued all the way. And they kind of, from being in a little box and from moving around, they get a little bendy and crazy. So that's where I decided to do that. And I think there's going to be, the way I used to do this was I'd go over all of my stuff with packing tape after I was done, and you'll see as I go through this that I ended up making this a little dimensional, so I don't think the packing tape will work, but I might still do it on that far edge just because of those tea tags. But I do go around the whole thing, and I wanted to keep the outside of this really junky and just have a lot of the everyday things on it. So that's why, this is like my trashy cover. This is a Junktilda. She is going to be junky. But I actually really like the tea bags. And I'm considering, okay, going around the edges of the pages, not around, but on the edge of the page there. You know how people do with washi tape. I'm thinking about doing it either with washi tape or with strips of magazine paper, because God knows I have enough of that. And it's going to take just as much time to do that as washi tape, because you're going to have to glue the washi tape to the edges anyway, because it's not going to stay put. So, yeah. But I'm really happy with the way this was all coming out. And you could absolutely do a page with tea tags. I know that Shannon Green had pages in one of her junky journals of tea tags and cough drop wrappers. So yeah, I'm not that far. I don't have cough drop wrappers, but I do drink a lot of tea these days now that I don't drink coffee. So I'm 2 to 3 cups of tea a day. So I'm getting the tags, and I'm gonna save some of my bags because I saw this idea on Instagram with embossed tea bags, and oh my god, I gotta try it. It looked so cool. And I have some other ideas kind of too for the tea bags, like you know, using them as textural pieces on collages and stuff. I don't know. We'll play. We'll play with some tea bag material here coming up on my channel. You know, just to find another way to play with junk and use up what you have readily available to you and making something beautiful out of something you would otherwise just get rid of. Because just because you decide you want to create art does not mean you got to spend a ton of money to do so. Those are some little cookie things that the girls got at Walmart. They had some sent to them in Happy Mail a while ago. That box might have been from the Happy Mail, but they just started selling those at my Walmart. So yeah, they were really excited about that. We've bought them a few times since then, and they're actually pretty good. They're actually pretty cool, those cookies. This is from Toy Packaging, the piece that I just ripped off of the corrugated cardboard. So I'm just using it. You know, it's just a piece of toy packaging. I pulled the paper off because the corrugation is really thick. But I plan on taking that corrugated piece and using the corrugation to make into a stamp, or to cut out and use the corrugation as embellishments. I have done hearts out of corrugated. There is a video from a video hop I used to do with the Mariotier. We used to do a live stream hop on Sunday nights, I think, once a month. And one of the things I did was the corrugated hearts, and they come out really cute, and they're really cute for this time of year. So maybe we'll do some of those. I just had to stop recording because my daughter had to show me a beard that she made out of Play-Doh, like the crazy lunatic person that she is. But anyway, I have a video idea of hearts, a couple of ideas that I seen on Pinterest and Instagram that I want to try, and to make some embellishments, and maybe we'll do the corrugated. So maybe we'll do that like over the next couple of weeks, with it being Valentine's Day, you know. Even though it's like not a holiday I really even celebrate, but I like hearts, and what a good time of year to play with hearts and to make heart embellishments. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to include a sticker that I got in Happy Mail. I am 99% sure that that is from Christy Biddleston. And I have some stars. I don't know who sent me the stars, but if you are them, can you tell me where you got the punch for those stars? Because I can only find little itty bitty star punches. Oh, I'm going through Happy Mail that I stuffed things into an envelope. Like that little priority box envelope thing. Yeah, I just stuffed a whole bunch of stuff in there before to put it in that basket so that nothing would fall out. But yeah, I got a lot of really cool stuff. That's something that came in Happy Mail. So I wanted to use that on the back. And it is a calendar page, so it is still junk. It is still trash, so we're still trashing it up. But it's a Thomas Kinkade, and I love Thomas Kinkade. I think that he is, I love his paintings. I love doing the puzzles of his paintings. I don't know if you're aware, but yeah, there are puzzles. I mean, I'm sure you're aware. If you weren't, you probably live under a rock. And I recently bought a book. When I say recently, I mean like within the last year. I bought a book of his, like just of paintings of his, and yeah, I love going through it. And I want to harvest the book, but I can't decide on pictures inside, so I'm just going to leave it and just look through them. Or, you know, cut out a picture here and there as I want to use it in my art. This is just a scrap of painting paper that was done on a magazine page. I do a lot of magazine pages, if you didn't know. I create a lot of painting papers on magazine pages. The only thing I don't do with magazine pages anymore is use them for jelly printing, unless like you're going to do an image transfer, which then use it. But I don't like the way the paint comes out on the glossy magazine paper straight from the plate. So I will paint the paper and then use the jelly plate to stencil and embellish, but I will not just use the jelly plate on magazine paper anymore. It just looks ugly and sloppy to me. So, but by the way I do it anyway, I don't know if there's a way that I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. Maybe somebody has a trick. But I don't know the trick, so I just gave up on that. And I just use regular old junk mail paper and junk paper and school paper and all kinds of... I got plenty of other papers. It don't got to be magazine, okay? But yeah, this was a notebook from an estate sale. I bought a whole bunch of composition books in a box. Like, I wonder sometimes if these people who throw the estate sales put these boxes of crap together and they're like, nobody's going to buy this. I'm just going to throw it in here anyway. And then I come along and I buy that crap. I wonder if people are like, wow, I cannot believe that somebody came and bought it. Like the time the people thought I was crazy for coming to get the phone books. I asked them for their phone books. They probably thought I was nuts. That is a card. It is made from a glossy photo paper. I got it in Happy Mail. I believe it is from APG Jamie. I will have to double check. But I got that card in Happy Mail, and it is made from glossy photo paper and alcohol inks. I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what it looks like what I've seen of alcohol ink being used on a glossy paper, especially like a photo paper. And I just love the way that looks. I have a few pieces like that, and I have tons of glossy photo paper. I could do it myself. I just forget. But so I'll just have to add that to my list. Maybe we'll do something fun with that with the hearts too. Maybe I should start making myself a list of what we're going to do with our hearts in the heart video, since we're kind of just brainstorming together right now. But yeah, I really enjoy the look of the alcohol inks. I do alcohol inks on some random things, like washers, hardware store washers. Yeah. I'm just writing down my list right now. I'm writing down my list for my heart video. Can you hear me? Can you hear me writing like a crazy person? That was a mandala. That was my first dot mandala I ever made, because I got a kit from Christy Biddleston. She was selling them in her shop, dot mandala kits. So I tried one with some neon paint that I have, and I really liked how that came out, and I decided to include it on the cover. I haven't done a whole lot of dotting since then, and I think it's because the paints I have are pretty crappy. Like, I just use them to make painting papers. I don't have nice, really nice paint that is, a really good transparency. Everything I have, it's either too transparent or too watery, or, I just, whatever. I gotta make a pile, or when I start sorting stuff, sort my paints by the paints that come out good and the paints that don't come out good, but yeah, because I do have some cheap paint, cheap apple barrel paint that feels like a good quality paint. I just forget which ones those are, because I have like 5,000 billion zillion. These were little hearts I had gotten in Happy Mail. They are die cuts. Sorry, not hearts, flowers. They were die cuts. So I decided to cover the whole corner in them. Apparently I'm cut off. Apparently the video is cut off there. Or, I'm off camera because I'm just so awesome there. But I will show you the finished product, because I finished those up off camera, because our day got kind of crazy after this, and I kind of had to work on it in little spurts, and I couldn't do that with the camera on every 25 seconds. So I just finished it with adding a few centers to those flowers, and you'll see how cool it comes out, and I'm really happy with it. But I wanted to still keep some of that book cover showing, because brown and blue, I think they look nice together, and it's a composition book you don't see the design of very often, so I decided to leave some of that showing. I really like those little flowers, so whoever sent those to me, thank you. They work perfect for this project, so I'm really happy with the way that all came out. And I moved my hands around there because I'm sure I was still talking to you at that point. Oh, there we go. I move it so we're in frame, and you can see. I have a couple of those black olive stickers. I just love them. I just love those stickers. One of these days we'll go through the basket of junk, the big basket of junk and Happy Mail and stuff. I recently had to wrap birthday gifts, obviously. There was a whole bunch of birthdays this week. And so I kept the cheap wrapping paper ends because it was like a Dollar Tree wrapping paper where you can wrap like 3 things and then it's all gone. And then you just have these little pieces. So I am going to do that. I'm going to get, I'm going to get some backgrounds done with those wrapping papers, and they're pretty nice. One of them's like one of them is like a craft paper. It's not. I mean, it's really thin, but it's still craft paper colored, and it's craft paper colored all the way through, which is really impressive, I think, for a dollar store. I use tweezers to put these down because if you tried it with your fingers, you would realize, holy crap, this is an impossible task, and we will never get through this alive. So tweezers help, and those curvy tweezers, I bought those a long time ago, and I was they were questionable when I bought them. I was like, are these gonna help? Are these gonna work? What am I gonna do? But they worked. I was able to work with them. I got them, to cooperate. So they work perfect for this. The only problem is they don't hold on to things tight, but when it comes to applying things, they're just fine. They just don't have a really tight grip, which sometimes I need a tight gripping tweezer. But I really like how these little flowers, my little corner of flowers came out. And I'm like rushing through this part because everybody's like, hey, we gotta eat, because you gotta like feed people. Do you ever have that problem where you gotta feed people in your house? But again, just look at what I'm doing. You really don't need anything fancy to create beautiful art. This is all junk, so get your junk together and glue it down. If you have junk and glue and something to glue it to, then you are golden, and you can make something beautiful. I mean, those flowers I was given in Happy Mail, but you could easily make flowers. Maybe we'll do a video of the flowers that I was making with no dies or punches. So we'll do a video of that because I have a few that I started doing that I had done, and they come out beautiful. They come out nicer than the punches. This is the finished cover. I put those little gems on there. I haven't added anything else really. We put a little ditties on, I think. Do I put any ditties on? Do we ditty? Do you know if we ditty? But yeah, I don't have a ton of stuff on the cover. And this is the first time I've ever decorated my cover in junk. Usually I put a picture over it or something, a magazine picture or, a background paper or some sort. But I really like this. I really like the look of the junk, and maybe it's something we'll do again in the future. But I just decided to, find a little something else. I want to put the title on there, and I'm dating things now. I want things to be dated. So I want to put down what year I started this junky crap here. This junk journal covered in trash. And that is something, it's a printable. It is a printable that I got in Happy Mail. You don't need printables. You don't need to print things off. It's just something, again, something that I was given, and the paper is really nice. So I thought this would be a good way to title the book, is with this faux invoice paper, because I didn't know if I'd want to actually use that as ephemera in something, because I'm nervous sometimes using printables. But anyway, I inked up the edges to go with the flow of the old antique color, and then those little scrap pieces that came off of it, I will use them in other applications and other scrappy junky projects. So I just throw this on there. We're gonna write the title down real quick. Sorry, spoiler alert. We're gonna write the title down on there, and that is gonna be the end of my cover unless I find anything to add. And The only thing I have to do is do the inside covers. I do like to decorate the inside covers of things, but this is officially Junktilda II. So I hope you enjoyed this crazy video of me flapping my face. Ta-ta!